Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to deshell an ERS-111 head. So we're going to start down here with the neck. There's one screw here, here, and here. And with those 3 screws removed, we will now gently push on this area. It should slide off. And keep a plastic pry tool on hand if necessary, but just pry up here, and there's a little tab here, so you may want to just run it along the edge to free it. Naturally, be careful with old brittle plastic. I'm going to use a small flathead bit here instead. Free that. And now, just kind of gently grab both sides and pull on each side to free it. And it should just pull away, like so. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove this shell on the rear that connects to the core. So to do that, it's these 2 gold screws here. Let's go ahead and undo both of those. And be careful as you pull this away, as it's what holds this little board that connects into the core. And with that removed, we now can see the internals of the neck. Now moving on to the actual head. First, we're going to remove the visor, so gently press on both sides. See if we can get a better angle. And pull. This one was actually pretty stuck, so in that case, you would probably want to use a plastic pry tool and ease it out a little more gently like that. But, visor removed. Next, we're going to remove the head sensor. So just go ahead and take a plastic pry tool, pry up at this corner here, and it should just pop off. You can see where it pegs in here, and you should just be able to pull it away. There's the head sensor, and there's a handful of little bits in here. I'm just going to go ahead and dump them out so I can show the way they're oriented. So you have this little stopper that goes into the head and contacts the blue sensor on the actual headboard. This little guy has a hole in it. This tiny spring sets inside this hole. And then this larger spring sets over both of them. And this little guy goes in with the spring facing upward and this little peg facing down. And that bigger spring just goes right over, and the head sensor just clips right back on. But we're going to get back to disassembling things. So with the visor and head sensor removed, we can start pulling out some screws. So we're going to want to remove this one here, 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 and here. Go ahead and move to the bottom of the head, and there's one here, here. Just move these out of the way, and here and here. And with those 8 screws removed, we can go ahead and just split the shells right off. Now we have 2 halves of a 111 head shell, and it's mostly exposed. There are a couple little odds and ends that we can remove still though. Firstly, we just have the little camera cover, so 1 screw here, 1 screw here. And it just fell off, but you get the idea. It just kind of falls right away from the whole assembly. And there's that big chunky 0.00 whatever megapixel camera. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove the jaw. And there are 3 separate pieces to the jaw, so the jaw itself, and these 2 little bumpers at the end. Depending on the condition, sometimes they like to just pull away, so we're going to go ahead and just gently pull, and there goes one right there. Not a big deal, they just clip right in. So we're going to pull on this end now. Gently. That one doesn't want to come out, so no big deal. So what I like to do is go ahead and pull this side first, and that will loosen the whole thing. Then just pull away on this end, and that'll free the whole jaw. And it looks like this dude has been eating something nasty. So that's pretty much everything for the head besides this little dust cover here. To remove this guy, it is a little more tricky. So the way the head is set up, it's kind of sandwiched, so there's layers. One layer up here with the headboard, another layer here with all the plastic supports and framing, and then that's when you can actually access this screw here, and this screw here, and the whole thing will kind of just pull away. For the purposes of this video though, I'm not going to be doing that, mostly just because it's quite a task. So with the head out of the way, may as well show you the tail block. So it's honestly been a hot minute since I've done this, so I'm going to go ahead and just remove the screws that I think are the right ones. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and seems like I was right. So this guy will just kind of pull away. Looks like it's clipped in over here, so I'm going to go ahead and get that plastic pry tool. Just unclip that. And the whole thing kind of pulls away. I haven't actually seen the insides of a 111 or 110 tail gearbox. That is quite impressive. So that pretty much wraps it up for the head and tail. See, I've got everything laid out with the legs we've already disassembled here. And the shell is associated with everything we've done today. And here's the screws as well. So these 8 up here went to the head shells. There's 2 for the camera cover. These 3 for this front neck cover. These 2 longer golden ones, the rear of the neck cover. And these 4 down here were for the tail block shell.